Hello, hello. It's Prince Easy. And as usual, let's get to it, right? So, now they're trying to pretend like they're trying to give power to the people, to make the people participate in the witch hunt, in the witch hunt, in the suppression of truth. They want you to partake as if the algorithms, as if the voice recognition does not work properly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's working properly, it's working perfectly like it should, keeping the truth out of the view and the size of people. It's just by sheer divine intervention that people find the truth these days. Right? The compartmentalization is just insane. Right? They put you in a box, inside another box, and then forget the password. It's funny to see that they're still on this. After all this time, they're still on this. Who is engineering this? This is a sign of a country that has lost direction. Now I'm hearing the whole visa with the Ukraine situation was not even authorized by a president. Imagine that. How can that even happen? The things that come out today, the bombshells that come out today. How much do you even, in this supposed pleasure palace? 1 billion. Wow. Aside from prophecy, I think he's just a victim of political assassination. Or it's just a fine work of Ruto, the fine work and handiwork of Ruto. Right? Now, in my opinion, I don't think he's fit to take this position. He's not. Look at his country. Look at his country. Has he been able to put the tribes together to end the tribalism, or has he played along with the tribalism politics? Because that's what gives them power, and that's the problem right there. Right? In order to hold on to that power, they have to keep the tribalism strong and existent. They cannot let it die, because that would mean the diminishing of their power, or their influence rather, right? So this is the madness that we're dealing with, right? And these pacts, these unholy pacts, yeah, we should be watching out for these, right? We should be watching out for these. Sometimes I think leaders who represent nations, they don't even understand who and how many people they represent. If they surely had that in mind every freaking time, they would have so many questions about the execution of these world plans that they need to, like I said, and through the UN, the beast system can influence the entire world, right? Policies of the UN and this and that. Now all of our plans have to work in synchronicity, like the whole world working in synchronicity. What type of nonsense is that? Now this is what I was trying to keep Christians and Muslims, basically my brothers in Zion, out of their nonsense, right? We have heard from the Palestinian side, they are talking about it's a holy war, right? And now look at this, right? They're not even supposed to be. It's a game, right? It's a game, right? I'm just saying that in order to have a war, you have to have participants of that war. It cannot just be a war of words, right? And they are really, right now, since people are mostly spiritually dead, there are few things that can be used to move people into war, emotions being one of them, right? So what they want is that when they yell jihad, jihad, they are hoping for people to go there and fight alongside them for their holy war and whatnot. Right? It's the same thing with the Christians. You know, why do you think the Israelis were made? Why did they take their identity in the first place? It's because of war. It's because of a time like now. Right? Now they are crying wolf, right? They are saying, oh, more like crying chicken. You know, they're saying the nerve of this one believer in the synagogue of Satan talking about you Christians worship a single Jew. You should be worshiping all of us because all of us are dying for your sins every day. You know, like what? What? There's so many levels of wrong in that statement. I can't even begin. Right? So Palestinians are supposed to rally up the Muslims in order to go to war, and of course the Israelis are supposed to rally up the Christians to go to war. Right, because of them being the people of the book, right, them being on God's side, and the Muslims are wrong, right, they are wrong. We have had this war in the past when the Europeans collided with the Muslim empire. Now, that was just a dry run. So, it's a thing they have been planning, they have been doing for so long. It's the same in the micro scale is what has been happening around Trump. You know, he had last week he had all of these, I don't know, preachers putting hands on him, you know, and now he's having all of these Muslims as if he cares. You know, they're just puppets for them, just ends to their, just a means to their ends, really. Because it is fraudulent, it is a lie. That's why it's effective for their usage, right? So they're trying to appeal to our quote-unquote faith, to our beliefs, so as they can get us to go to war. And are you gonna let that happen? Really, that's the question. Because if we really wanna know the law, right, and know what we are supposed to do, I can simply simplify it in two literal sentences, right? The first sentence would be love God, right? And the second would be love your neighbor, full stop. Full stop. The 10 Commandments, or some I've heard even 100. Apparently there are actually 100 out there. Right? But if we were to take the 10 Commandments, they would fit into these two categories, right? The first one being the love of God, and the other ones being the love of a fellow person, right? It's just basic human decency. That's what it is, right? But if any of these laws is lacking, then you have not fulfilled what we are required to do, really, right? You can't have love of God and you don't have love your neighbor. You cannot love your neighbor and not love God, right? The law then becomes incomplete, right? Because then what is your access? You know, the scripture uses, it says that the yoke of the Creator is soft, right? The yoke of the Creator is soft, but the yoke of the enemy is hard, right? So these are the two only laws that we need to observe, really, right? We need to recognize and understand and respect the existence of a God. We recognize and understand that this entire creation was made for a purpose and has order, and we respect that order because it is designed, right, by a divine intellect, that we love and we appreciate for this gift, right, which we call life. And of course the love of thy neighbor, right, which is also crucial, right, very crucial, very, very crucial, right, very crucial, right. So that's the game, right. So let me question the church fathers, the early church fathers, right, who thought it was a good idea to name the mother of Yeshua the Queen of Heaven. They thought it was a great idea. So you're telling me they didn't see all of these passages, they didn't see all of this history, right? Our history of what we did in the past, right? Children gather woods, the fathers kindle the fire, the woman knit the door, right? They are making a whole sacrifice here for this Queen of Heaven. So the goddess, right? The goddess worship was our problems, right? Like we talked about yesterday with their whole dogma movie and whatnot. God is a woman, God is a woman. This is the paving way to the worship of the Queen of Heaven, right? It goes on, Jeremiah 44:7, right? Burning incense to the Queen of Heaven, pouring drinks, right? Kings and peoples and fathers have done this, princes have done this in the cities of Judah, right? So it is just a recurring theme, really, right? Now this is another rhetoric here to create friction between Burkina Faso and Ghana, right? They are seeing things somewhat, they see the sky is cracking, right? They see that the storm is clearing and the light is nearing being seen, okay? They have to throw a wrench on that whole relationship. So what do? Double down. That's what you do. You double down. You don't hold back. No, you double down. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do, and do it now. Right? Because they are planning to use these people here to create friction. Yeah? They're using these people to create friction. The first time when the Sahel people freed themselves, you were useful, right? You were useful to the white people. Now use that same energy to be useful to help your brothers, right? And I'm seeing what you have done so far, okay? But more needs to happen, more, way more, right? Like what has happened about the port and all of this, right? It's supposed to be the meme of the year. And to be honest, yeah, it's a little bit short. Right? Google owes so much more, right? It's a literal criminal enterprise that has made money off our backs and still has the nerve to charge us of YouTube Premium. The nerve. So here we are, a country asking their oppressors to lift their leg off their neck. Now let me ask you this, does it really work? Or does it really make the situation worse for the slave? Because that's what you are. So let me put a pin on this by summing up this. I know yesterday I said some really hard things to click in people's minds, right? Well, it's the experience that has been recorded, right? In the mouth it will be sweet as honey, but it will be bitter in your belly. That is the truth, brothers and sisters. That is the truth. That's what it does. It makes you sick, right? It makes you sick of the lie, and you should feel sick of the lie, right? If you don't feel it, if it doesn't make you sick, what moves you then to change your situation? It has to make you sick because you have righteousness inside you, right? You have righteousness inside your hearts. You love the truth. So it will make you sick. You will be repulsed by evil spreading around, right? So it was only a appropriate response, right? It was an appropriate response, right? And of course, there are some who would feel the need to, I don't know, defend their religion, right? Because it's not their faith, it's their religion. Feel free, okay? Feel free to hug your lies and deception. Maybe that will get you somewhere, right? This is not this is not where I go around asking people and killing people around so as they can accept the truth. No, it has to come from within you. It has to come from deep inside you to decide that, okay, you know what? Yeah, there's a lie here and we need to take a different course because we want to walk in the right path always, right? So enough with this worshiping of the Queen of Heaven, enough with the worshiping of the beast, enough of the lies. Full stop. Religion of truth, right? This is signing out. Love you. Bye.